What do the most terrifying creatures of the Amazon look like? Fish with human teeth, living dinosaurs, and 100-foot snakes. Can you imagine? I will show you the most incredible inhabitants of these places that even scare the locals. And at the end, there will be an absolutely wild discovery, a real whale in the jungle. Crazy, right? Let's start with a monster that will frighten even the bravest. Imagine a fish with teeth resembling human ones. Meet the Pacu. It looks like a piranha, but instead of sharp, pointy teeth, it has square and flat ones, just like humans. Surprisingly, these fish are not predators, even though they look frightening. They don't eat meat at all. Unexpected, right? Pacu, even reaching lengths of 1 meter, prefer a vegetarian diet. They can crack nuts and skillfully extract food from various hiding spots. Their teeth help them with this. But does this mean they can't bite? There have been cases where schools of Pacu attacked people, causing serious injuries. Even in captivity, incidents have occurred. In a private aquarium in Scotland, one such fish nearly bit off the finger of a curious visitor who decided to disturb it. However, if you don't get too close, you can feel safe. Though I would prefer to keep my distance. How about you? Yet this fish isn't even the scariest in this video. Now, imagine a creature resembling a shark with a long snout, but with a saw-shaped nose and sharp teeth. Looks dangerous. Meet the sawfish, the largest of the shark-like rays. There are 5 species of these creatures, some of which can grow up to 25 feet long and weigh between 1,100 to nearly 1,300 pounds. Each sawfish has a distinctive saw-like nose, where the teeth are arranged differently and in various quantities, but all are equally sharp. Interestingly, scientists distinguish the species by the number of teeth on this nose. Like bull sharks, these rays prefer brackish waters at river mouths, but sometimes venture into freshwater. There, their young can freely swim upstream. Sometimes during floods, they remain in freshwater and live there for many years. Since their nose makes up 1/4 of their body length, they use it as a weapon and a means of defense. They are very sensitive to electric fields and can detect even the slightest muscle contractions in nearby prey. This allows them to hunt successfully in murky water or at night. Additionally, they use their nose like a club, stunning fish and pinning their prey to the bottom before eating it. These bottom dwellers live in shallow coastal waters. But, unfortunately, their population has sharply declined over the last century. Why has this happened? Their prominent nose makes them vulnerable. They often get tangled in fishing nets and become prey for fishermen. Today, sawfish are endangered. However, the next monster could very well fight back against humans. What would the Amazon be without crocodiles, right? They immediately remind me of the scariest monsters you can encounter on the banks of this great river. Meet the black caimans, the largest predators in this ecosystem. These creatures can be seen in any part of the Amazon. They play the role of forest sanitizers, destroying everything that carelessly crosses their path. Yes, even people, for they fear no one, just a huge jaw that follows instincts. It's no wonder they have so few natural enemies. Who would want to tangle with such a monster? Female black caimans lay eggs in nests they build during the dry season. A mother guards her young until they can protect themselves. Even little baby crocodiles are quite dangerous. If they don't eat you, they definitely won't let go after a bite. I highly recommend staying away from the flooded savannas of the Amazon and the freshwater lakes of South America. Their shores are literally teeming with black caimans. But while we've grown accustomed to the sight of crocodiles and don't find them particularly surprising, what do you think of the next monster? Look at these cuties. Giant otters are not only the largest representative of their kind in the world, but also one of the biggest mammals in South America. They inhabit only the Amazon River and its surrounding waters. At first glance, they may not seem particularly threatening, but don't be deceived. This predator is one of the most effective killers in tropical forests. You'll be surprised, but giant otters are capable of killing and eating anacondas and caimans. How do they do it? Groups of giant otters work together, attacking the caiman from behind and grabbing it by the neck, the spot it can't reach with its sharp teeth. Then they tire it out until it weakens from the buildup of lactic acid in its muscles. When the caiman gets tired, the otters drag it ashore and eat it alive. Who would have thought otters could be such formidable predators? And speaking of the Amazon, who immediately comes to mind? That's right, piranhas. These freshwater fish are famous for their sharp teeth and predatory nature. Interestingly, their ancestors swam in rivers 25 million years ago. These fish are known for their blade-like teeth and powerful bite. It's no wonder that the name piranha translates to river cannibal. Piranhas have one row of interlocking teeth, each about 1/6 of an inch long. Their jaws resemble a blade, which helps them deal with their prey. They prefer meat and have enamel similar to that of sharks. Like bull sharks, piranhas replace their teeth several times throughout their lives. A bite from this giant fish can exert a force of 1,670 pounds. This makes you think, what did it eat that required such power? Although most piranhas feed on insects, crustaceans, and vegetation, there are exceptions. The red-bellied piranha can even eat its relatives, alive or dead. Interestingly, some piranha species eat seeds, while others living in the Amazon feed exclusively on plants. When piranhas hunt, they often attack the eyes and tail of their prey, presumably to immobilize it before the final strike. Despite the fact that these fish don't pose a significant threat to humans, agree that this information makes you think twice before diving back into the river. And if, while in the water, you hear clattering sounds, be careful. That's a piranha signaling its companions. But there is an even more amazing creature you can find in the depths of the Amazon, the electric eel. Though its name might be misleading, as it looks more like a black knife fish, the electric part is absolutely true. It can deliver a very serious shock, and its size is impressive too. These fish can grow up to 6.5 feet long and weigh up to 45 pounds. They sport a stylish coloration with an orange or yellow belly, but don't be fooled by its brightness. These eels are indeed deadly for humans. The charge they can produce reaches up to 600 volts. Can you imagine how much that is? A shock like that can kill instantly. Even if you just lose consciousness, there's a risk of drowning. Locals are very afraid of these eels, as there have been many victims already. The fish swims up, trying to bend its body into an arc and place the victim between its head and tail, closing the circuit. Even minimal electric exposure paralyzes the nervous system, leaving no chance of escape. This discharge signals other eels, who also begin attacking with electric shocks until the prey stops moving. These creatures have poor eyesight, so they sometimes release discharges as a warning, creating an electrified aura around themselves. But if the electric eel didn't impress you, how about a deadly frog? Yes, I'm not joking. Sometimes the scariest creatures aren't the biggest. A prime example is the poison dart frog, the most poisonous amphibian in the world. Its venom is so dangerous that locals used it to make poisoned arrows. Imagine that. Hunters from Colombian tribes would take down birds, monkeys, and other animals with the help of this tiny frog's venom. Amazingly, one little frog, no more than 2.5 inches long, contains enough toxin to kill 10 grown men. This poison, known as batrachotoxin, is stored in special glands under the skin and can cause paralysis and even death. Interestingly, a similar toxin is found in many plants and animals and contains 2 powerful alkaloids that seriously damage the brain and muscles. Think staying away from adult frogs will save you? Sadly, even young frogs are just as dangerous. Scientists discovered that females pass the toxin to their tadpoles, which absorb it and become poisonous. By placing the alkaloid in their eggs, the mothers protect their offspring, as predators are reluctant to eat poisonous tadpoles. But poison isn't the frog's only defense. Its bright coloration serves as a warning to potential enemies. Moreover, according to a 2001 study, the brightest frogs are usually the most poisonous. Fun fact: 45 million years ago, the ancestors of modern poison dart frogs in South America were non-venomous, had no bright colors, and were much larger. Studies from 2003 showed that toads are direct relatives of these poisonous frogs. The venom appeared in their genes about 30 million years ago, when their ancestors began eating poisonous ants and accumulating the toxin in their bodies. Now, this fish isn't afraid to show off. The Payara is considered one of the scariest creatures in the Amazon. Imagine a creature that looks like a fantastic mix between a fish and a saber-toothed tiger. Isn't nature amazing? When you first see an image of a Payara, you might think it's photoshopped or an artistic fantasy. But no, it's a real predator. The Payara is a symbol of aggression and fear in the Amazon waters. It hates everything around it that isn't its prey, and due to its aggressive nature, it has no friends. This fish's appearance is so terrifying that it frightens not only its potential victims, but also those who could be its enemies. It occupies one of the highest positions in the food chain of its environment. The size of the Payara is also impressive. It can grow up to 3.5 feet long and weigh between 33 and 40 pounds, and it can eat half its own weight in one sitting. So if you ever decide to travel through the Amazon, be careful and stay far away from the Payara. Even an encounter with piranhas might seem preferable to facing its fearsome fangs. But do you want to hear about an even more terrifying creature? Take a look at this giant, called the Arapaima. Encountering a fish like this is a real test of your nerves. It's simply enormous, reaching up to 10 feet long and weighing around 220 pounds, and some individuals have grown to twice that size. When you see such a monster, you can't help but think it probably eats people for breakfast. But here's the paradox. The Arapaima is not a man-eater. It prefers fruits, seeds, and even small birds. This fish opens its mouth wide, creating a vacuum and sucks in everything in its path. With its teeth and bony tongue, it grinds the food before sending it to its stomach. In captivity, Arapaimas are fed fruits, shrimp, and squid. It seems they eat almost anything, except people. And of course, we can't forget about the Anaconda, the most famous and commercialized monster of the Amazon. I used to think movies exaggerated its danger, but believe me, they don't. Despite not being venomous, this creature can give you a real nightmare if you encounter one. Green anacondas reach sizes that will make your blood run cold, up to 30 feet long and weighing up to 550 pounds. Imagine that. Its body is nearly 12 inches in diameter. True giants among snakes, right? At that size, it's clear it would need a feast of several people to get full. While the movies exaggerate its appetite for humans a bit, in reality, it doesn't care what it eats. Usually, it prefers more traditional meals: birds, deer, pigs, jaguars, and turtles. It wraps itself around its prey, suffocates it, and then swallows it whole, like pulling on a snug-fitting cover. Chills down your spine, right? But the most amazing thing, between its big meals, the anaconda takes long breaks. These snakes can relax and not eat for weeks or even months. If only I could do that. And remember, I promised you a dragon or dinosaur? Meet the Matamata, scientifically known as the fringed turtle. It has a long dragon-like neck and a huge mouth that swallows fish whole. The Matamata is a ruthless predator, protected by a tough shell. Besides its teeth and long neck, it has special skin flaps that help it detect the slightest movement around it. It lies motionless like a rock, but always knows exactly where its prey is. As soon as it gets close, the Matamata instantly grabs and swallows it, as if nothing ever happened. Sometimes the Matamata sticks its head above the surface, and you'll see a long snout with 2 nostrils poking out of the water. This turtle lives in still waters and hunts not only fish, but also birds gliding on the water's surface. And do you know how old these incredible creatures are? Scientists say about 12 million years. In fact, it really did live alongside dinosaurs. And now, the strangest encounter. Imagine this. In 2019, right at the mouth of the Amazon River, among the mangrove trees and bushes, the body of a humpback whale was found. The creature was discovered thanks to vultures, who apparently sensed something was wrong. Scientists came up with 2 theories about how the whale ended up in such an unusual place. According to the first theory, strong tidal waves may have thrown it ashore as it swam near the coast. Tangled in the jungle, the whale couldn't make its way back to the water. Despite its size, it was just a baby, barely 1 year old. It seems that it got separated from its mother and couldn't join the migration of its kin off the coast of Antarctica. Biologists were also surprised that the whale appeared off the northern coast of Brazil during the winter period, as they usually pass through here between July and November. The second theory suggests that the whale's death in the ocean may have been caused by plastic pollution, and its dead body was washed ashore by the waves. Some environmental media even reported that its abdominal cavity was filled with human waste. However, official reports did not confirm this. Scientists also do not rule out the possibility of a collision with a ship or getting entangled in poachers' nets. What do you think? Which theory seems more likely to be true? Leave your thoughts in the comments and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And yes, if you love interesting stories, know how to write scripts, edit, or narrate videos, check out the Telegram bot linked in the description. I'd love to collaborate. Thanks for watching.